Another legend in his own right. Paul,
hello.
Welcome to the International Radio Festival. What can I say?
Thank you very much.
Put it there.
Having a great time, really.
I know your name. It rings the bell, but I think I was a bit too young to be listening to your shows in those days. Tell me, when did you first start on radio?
Gosh, way before your time, I'll tell you. It's 1966. I did my first broadcast with Pirate Radio 270. And then from there I went to a little radio station nobody seems to know much about on the Isle of Man. It was called Manx Radio, and I was there for 6 months, and I was fired.
Why?
Why? I to this day I don't know really, but I think it's because I was the only person on the station who wasn't a Manxman, and I did have trouble with the Gaelic names. I must say, I'll be honest. But you know, it just shows you how you lucky breaks, unlucky breaks. I was devastated when it happened, but because I was free and available, the following week I got the offer of a job on Radio Luxembourg, which to people of a certain generation would know what an amazing, terrific radio station that was, because it had been running since the 30s, before Pirate Radio came along, and it was the only station that we in Britain could hear popular music, but it was not a very good reception. It was out in Luxembourg.
Was it dependent on the weather?
I don't know. I think it was a time of day, night time, which is when we were on. It was quite clear, but in the north of England, and it was huge in the north of England, but in the south of England, they didn't get it too well. So, but anyway, it was just a fantastic experience, and I really thought I'd arrived then. I joined Radio 1 in 1974 from Radio Luxembourg, and but you see, Radio 1 very much had based themselves on Radio London, so it wasn't that much difference. And people always think that somehow the BBC is quite strict and so on, but I had a lot of freedom. Funnily enough, I've done some work for the BBC recently, and I was amazed how backward they stepped in terms of freedom, because there were three areas you couldn't touch: religion, the royal family, and sex. The sex we got around, you know, because most of the lyrics of the songs that we were playing pretty much have that as the theme. So no, that wasn't too bad. But well, certainly language, swearing, you know, using bad language, that was very frowned on, and I think rightly so, because people who know me know I know them. My language is very fruity, should we say?
Fruity, for those who are not English, means what does it mean actually?
Well, downright rude, anyway.
Downright rude.
The language of sailors, and you know. But the thing is, they know me, I know them. When you're on the radio, you're kind of a guest in that person's house. They've turned the radio on. I don't know what they like, what they don't like. So these rules, I think, have a place in certain types of radio. But then, if you work for a radio station that's very radical, you know, some of the lyrics of, you know, the hip-hop stuff and rap music, wow, makes me blush. But the radio station that plays that, people tune into that radio station, know that. They're prepared for it. But when you're on because Radio 1 was a family station, Radio 2, is with Tony is with now, is very much a family station. So you have to have certain values that, you know, you can't ignore, because they're the people paying the license fee for the BBC. So no, there's place for it, but you get around these things. You can be a bit naughty. So I agree with Tony that you never felt any restrictions, because those restrictions were on Pirate Radio as well, but they were self-imposed. It's only because we knew the audience would have been shocked if they'd heard anything, you know, untoward, you know.
I know a beach where, baby, it never ends.
Today, being on the air here has really whetted my appetite again, and I do miss it. I also miss the camaraderie of radio stations as well. You probably noticed we're old friends. We've known each other a lot of years. We've all worked on various radio stations together, and it shows, I think. And I miss the rapport of that side of things.
Paul Burnett, legend in his own time. Thank you very much that you came.
Thank you.
Wonderful having you here, and I hope this relaunches your radio career. Watch the space. Probably Paul is going to get back into radio because of the International Radio Festival.
I need the work.
Right.